dispute that this is a political case. Mr. Armstrong is a leader in the Antifa community. He makes his bar a support to Antifa. There's no dispute that Mr. Gibson regards Antifa's political objectives as threatening America's future. There's no dispute that Mr. Gibson organizes events on Facebook and that people come to them. There's no dispute that the Antifa people are committed to deplatforming these events. There's no dispute that this particular thing, the Cider Riot May Day after party, hosted by Cider Riot and Rose City Antifa, was not an event hosted by Mr. Gibson. It was someone else's idea. We know that they had intelligence so that they all ran out of the bar to meet Mr. Gibson even before he arrived, armed with the mace and the batons and the brass knuckles, wearing their masks. And less than 48 hours after this happens, bang, the lawsuit's filed. It's a classic strategic lawsuit against public participation. Because the political demonstrations occur in public, whenever they involve views that are unpopular, they will involve a risk to public order. And the puzzle of this case and its importance is what happens when a group like Antifa routinely uses violence to shut down opposing views to the point where Mr. Chavez draws the analogy of a hornet's nest. Well, Mr. Gibson came and stuck the stick in the net of hornets, okay? And it's true as a matter of tort law that if someone sticks a stick in the net of hornets and people get bitten, maybe that's a tort for the people who got bitten. But the Antifa members, they're not insects. They're human beings with free will, and they have the right, the free will to ignore Mr. Gibson, to choose to respond nonviolently, or choose to respond violently, and we'll see that's what they did.
Part of the MO of Mr. Gibson, he yells and screams and cajoles and conspires and directs people to fight. And then he gets to claim, or then he attempts to claim that he had nothing to do with it. When I think you can all see from the video and see from common experience and from people who declare to have been there and who also have watched these things, that is not the whole story. This is not, in fact, protected speech. Just because somebody is yelling about nonviolence while punching somebody, it doesn't make it protected speech. It doesn't mean that if Mr. Gibson is aiding and abetting criminal activity while yelling about peace practices, it doesn't mean that he did, in fact, aid and abet a criminal act of violence.